The Super Bowl was Sunday, obviously, and the Eagles demolished Kansas City. It was 34-0 before Kansas City even crossed midfield, which is just absurd based on what we thought we knew about both those teams, what we thought we knew about the game. The Eagles did not blitz Kansas City once. Vic Fangio ran a defense that he's run forever that is very similar to the Ed Donatel defense that got him run out of town here in 2022. My question to you, Lavelle, half seriously, but also as a way to get into this discussion, do we now owe Ed Donatel an apology? Because maybe it wasn't his defense, it was the players that were the problem here.
No, we don't owe Donatel anything, okay? First of all, it's not a lock just because you're a disciple of a good coach that you're going to come in and achieve everything that coach achieved. I've had to deal with that as a Bears fan, watching Luke Getsy come over from working with LaFleur to try to run in the Bears offense, which ended up being a mitigated disaster, and Shane Waldron coming over from the Seahawks, and that being a disaster to a point where he was removed in mid-season. You like to pluck from that tree when you're looking for good coordinators, people they've worked with. I mean, anyone's worked with Sean McVay, you're going to want to hire him, including KLC. But, yeah, in the end, I will admit this. In the end, players make coaches look good. And I think what you saw on Super Bowl Sunday was a combination of a really talented Philadelphia defensive line going up against a Chiefs offensive line that has seen its better days. They've had to kick their all-pro left tackle into left guard, Joe Thuney. I think that weakened them on the ends. They really got trouble dealing with the defensive ends and their rushes on Sunday. And so I just think the matchups there, because, the Chiefs had the highest paid center, Creed Humphrey in the league. He's making $18 million a year. So, they're pretty stout up the middle. A lot of problems you saw were coming from the edges. And plus, there was some diabolical stuff going on. I will give Donatel credit here, too, because second quarter, it was known. It was so I don't know if someone tweeted it or said it on the air that the Eagles weren't blitzing. We were like, what? So we were focusing on that in the second half. I remember one play when I screamed at the TV, well, there's a linebacker blitzing right there. But then what Donatel did, he dropped one of the defensive linemen back in coverage. So it was still.
You mean Fangio? Fangio. You mean Fangio, not Donatel.
Sorry, Fangio.
That's okay. Yes.
So, and wherever Fangio's has gone, the defense has been good. He was great with the Bears. He's great with Denver, and he is like this era's Monty Kiffin. Just a really old curmudgeonly defensive genius. And I don't think Donatel and genius have never been put together. So no, I am not going to give Donatel an apology for what went on.
You know what? I'm going to give him a little one. I'm going to give him a bit of an apology because I've been hard on him over the years. I've been like, they brought Flores in, all of a sudden the defense gets a lot better. Flores is also, especially in 2024, had much better personnel to work with. They signed all these free agents, Jonathan Van Ginkel, Blake Cashman. You give those guys to the 2022 Vikings, they might have a better defense than Ed Donatel was able to field because that defense was getting old. A lot of those guys they got rid of at the end of that year. You had Eric Kendricks kind of towards the end. You had Patrick Peterson kind of towards the end, like guys who were good, but you had to play. You were going to have a hard time tackling on the back end if you didn't get home on a blitz. Now, so I've made fun of it. I've said, I've used his little cute catchphrases in jest. That you're going to like the way we play. It's our time to shine. Stuff like that. The stuff he said before the playoff loss to the Giants. So I'm willing to concede that maybe I was a little too hard on him based on the other stuff. But what this does underscore to me, Lavelle, is that A, Brian Flores has done a good job the last couple of years, but B, you shouldn't always have to, his scheme is one thing, if you have the right personnel, you shouldn't have to use all the tricks that he has to use in order to stop teams from scoring.